Welcome back to the show, and now let's continue with the fun. From the days of Vitimbi and the rest, our country witnessed the birth of an industry so full of potential and which has since then evolved into an extremely sophisticated industry. You can't help but appreciate the amount of talent and passion possessed by the current breed of young actors. You have seen them on your screens, in theaters, and even on billboards. Well, that being said, we had a sit down with this following acting genius, and this is what she shared. Enjoy. For decades now, actors and actresses alike have graced our screens and theaters to bring to life stories that most of us hold dear. With time, everything is bound to undergo some transformation, and the acting industry is no exception. For it, the change has been the emergence of young, brilliant talents.
My name is Kanini Edith. I'm an actor, producer, stage manager. I'm an economist. I did economics in school, but the rest of the things I've picked up from just having the talent or the passion for it. And yeah, for now, that's what I'm doing mostly. I'm not doing anything corporate. I just started acting the other day, just before the pandemic, yeah. It wasn't something that I was doing. I haven't done it for a long period of time. And when I was born Kitambo, when I was a child, like when I was growing up, being a toddler and stuff like that, I wasn't a shy person. I'd ningesimama mbele ya watu and just do a poem without fear. And I think my parents then, my mom in particular, alikuwa anajua huyu ni msanii.
Ningecommit before ni meet them. Juka si stories about. Singekuwa na udem. Asimpendi.
So my support system is my mom. So I just, yeah, my mom is that person. She's a G. She's that person, you know. And she will support you when you're doing something she believes in. Like acting, she really supports me because she's normally telling me, nilikuwa najua wewe ni msanii from Kitambo. The people I look up to in terms of acting is, in Kenya, I look up to Kate, actress. She's done a couple of productions. Right now she's done Nafsi. It's been premiering, and I think they're in Mombasa right now. I'm not so sure. But yeah, I look up to her. She does a really good job from the work that I've watched that she's done. And then internationally, I really look up to Taraji P. Henson. I think she tells black stories very beautifully, and it's just amazing to watch her. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Just...
Why you calling me? Like, nilikwambia sitaki stories zako na mzee.
When job hunting, interviews are the order of the day to ensure one gets the opportunities leading to a potential job. For actors, these interviews are called auditions, where the actors present their skills to casting director, who then decide who gets what job.
Auditions is part of the job. Unfortunately, it's like interviews for other jobs, for corporate jobs. You're gonna have to go for an interview for you to be accepted for a job. So if you're an actor and you want to act, you really cannot bypass auditions. You have to go to auditions. Even if you won't get the role, you might introduce yourself to someone who might need you for something else. So for me, I treat auditions as, well, they freak me out. Because sometimes you find that the people who are auditioning you are people who've done big projects that could probably intimidate you if you haven't been in the industry for a very long time. But you suck it up and you go to that audition, you do your best. Whether you're going to be picked or not, there's something to get out of there with. The fact that you've gone to that audition and seen those people. Hata kama umeenda hapo uka freak out. Umeenda kama umewashawaona. So the second time you're going for this audition, you'll already have an experience. It's very unlikely that you're going to have two terrible experiences at the same time.
Aya basi. Besta uko manyo. Besta. Haya, pesa madam.
Kwanza inakaa sina.
Hauna ama ulipi?
Nika nimesahau.
It took me a while to go for an audition. I went for an audition when I was in 4th year, just about to finish school. And the motivation was, I'm finishing school and I don't have anything to go to. I don't necessarily have a job to go to. Immediately I'll have to look for. And so I said, acha nianze kwenda auditions. Maybe from there I can have a few things to look up to when I'm leaving school. That's when I went for some of the auditions in KNT, around in production houses, when you see a casting call.
After securing a job and a role at an audition, the next step for an actor is getting into character, a cognitive and sometimes physical endeavor that sees actors live and portray the life and mannerisms of particular characters as opposed to their own.
When you're given a script, you know, from the few workshops that I was able to do as an actor, and from just the experience that I've gotten with working with several productions, when you're given a script and you've been given a character, you first read it flatly, you know, without worrying about whether you'll be able to deliver or not, to understand the story from the outsider point of view. And then when you understand the story, you have your character, you know, and this character has certain, from the story that you've read, has certain tendencies, has certain traits. There's some things that are standing out about this character that are very important for you to portray. So even as you go back to the lines to read them so that unaweza zikram ama unaweza get into your head, you also go there knowing that this character, for example, is the villain, you know, and they're probably arrogant or rude. So within those lines, you'll be able to get some of the motivations of why you should be able to say this line this particular way. Or if you're playing, you know, a child, you know, there are some intonations children make. If you're like my age and you're playing a younger age, kuna particular differences between you and that particular character that you have to show, because age yako na age yake ni tofauti. I've heard people saying that they have problems derolling from characters, and it's just because the methods of acting are different. Kuna wase wanatumia method acting ile yenye you dive kabisa into that lifestyle of that character, and then you deliver your lines with that inside you. But for me, I don't do method acting. I act. I understand the character. I understand that this is art. It's just like drawing or maybe weaving something. So me and the character are two different people. So the moment there's that clap that, oh, it's a rap. It's a rap for me. It's a rap for that character for me. Like, I just go back to being Kanini, because this was a job.
Mare.
Nilikuwa na guts za kutisha za kutoa.
Unasema stories za guts. Na si wewe ndio ulinicall kuni thank.
I have been nominated as Best Lead Actress for the Kalasha that will happen in December. And the project, I was the lead actress for the film. It's a short film. It's called House of Secrets. It's done by USIU students. And the project was, the synopsis of the film is just a girl who went to look for a job in a city, and in that house there's something that is happening that's mysterious, and now the story revolves around her. So when we did that project with USIU students, I didn't know that it would end up where it has. It has 3 categories on the Kalasha Awards. So the best lead actress in a film, which is Kanini Edith, please vote for me. And there's best director, Steph Stevani and Michelle Donde. And then there's best film by a student, I'm not sure. But yes, those are the 3 categories that it garnered. The experience was beautiful. We were all learning during the project. Most of them were students, but there was a lot of professionalism, and I just liked it. Other projects that I've been able to do have been, I was recently a stage manager for a play called Breathe 3, done by Back to Basics. We staged it a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, in Jane Bavan Theatre. It's a new theatre. And then I have been able to do production coordination for a film, a feature film. It's on Netflix. It's called Sincerely Daisy. What else have I done? I have been able to do a short film. It's on YouTube. It's called Gatara Shiny. I'm speaking Kik there, but I'm Kao. So yeah, I think it's a big deal that I was able to learn a few lines in Kik, but it's a beautiful film. It's on YouTube.
Beautiful, adorable, innocent. It is so sad how you want her to grow without your presence as her elder sister.
The creative process doesn't quite end at the character phase. Getting on set is when and where the actors deliver performances we get to enjoy as an audience. As for Edith, the list of projects she has been able to feature is quite engrossing.
I have been nominated as Best Lead Actress for the Kalasha that will happen in December. And the project, I was the lead actress for the film. It's a short film. It's called House of Secrets. It's done by USIU students. And the project was, the synopsis of the film is just a girl who went to look for a job in a city, and in that house there's something that is happening that's mysterious, and now the story revolves around her. So when we did that project with USIU students, I didn't know that it would end up where it has. It has 3 categories on the Kalasha Awards. So the best lead actress in a film, which is Kanini Edith, please vote for me. And there's best director, Steph Sevani and Michelle Donde. And then there's best film by a student, I'm not sure. But yes, those are the 3 categories that it garnered. The experience was beautiful. We were all learning during the project. Most of them were students, but there was a lot of professionalism, and I just liked it. Other projects that I've been able to do have been, I was recently a stage manager for a play called Breathe 3, done by Back to Basics. We staged it a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, in Jane Bavan Theatre. It's a new theatre. And then I have been able to do production coordination for a film, a feature film. It's on Netflix. It's called Sincerely Daisy. What else have I done? I have been able to do a short film. It's on YouTube. It's called Gatara Shiny. I'm speaking Kik there, but I'm Kao. So yeah, I think it's a big deal that I was able to learn a few lines in Kik, but it's a beautiful film. It's on YouTube.
Distribution of content seemed very arduous to accomplish some years back, but now thanks to social media and many other over-the-top platforms, local content can and has penetrated the international viewership space.
Kitambo, there wasn't so much outlets for film and for things that you're going to make with your camera, or for things that you've acted out. There wasn't even many outlets for even music. Mostly it was audio, and then YouTube ikakuja later on. Like, there's been advancements into where you can put your art. Siku hizi kuna hadi Showmax, there's Netflix. People now can be able to put their art even on Instagram. Instagram only can accommodate like a whole video of close to 50 minutes, ama even more. So I feel like just the fact that distribution has become a bit bigger, then there's more accommodation for film. There's more accommodation for things that you're creating. It's not just TV. Unajua kitambo hizo Inspector Mwala, you'd find them on TV, but now you can even find them on places like Viusasa. Like, the distribution has become so big such that we don't even have enough to put. It will never be enough. So I think it's a big opportunity for people in the industry to just create and put your stuff out there. You never know who's gonna see your stuff. It's gonna be probably an executive producer who wants to do even a bigger thing with you and put it in a bigger platform. So I feel like just having YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and just all these outlets of art is helping the industry in a big way.
It would be Edith's joy to tell authentic African and Kenyan stories to the world one day. She implores the youth to utilize their talents now because the alarms to do so have repeatedly been rung.
It's been a month. Naelewa mom, lakini na need more time for Betty's fee. Plus I'm not foreigner too.
My plan or my goal is to make sure that I continue creating. Because at the end of the day, I just don't want to act peke yake. Being a producer, you also want to see if you can put up a project by yourself and put it out there for people to see. Tell the story from the way you understand. I really want to tell African stories, to be honest. Even if I do international projects, I hope I will be on the part where I'm telling a black girl story, an African story, a Kenyan story, you know, a Kamba story even. I would be so happy to see myself in a film that's international, but I'm also able to speak Kenyan languages, Sheng and stuff like that. I feel like it's important to put our work out there. It's already started. It's on Showmax, Netflix and everything. But if it can be bigger, more quantities of work for people to choose, even more genres. Juu unapata sahi, yes, tuko na a few movies on Netflix, but maybe si genres zote. Kuna wase wanapenda horror na kuna Kenyan horrors on Netflix. So if we, okay, maybe there is, I'm not so sure. But if we could just give people options of what to see, and equal authentic now original, that would be nice, and I would be so happy if I got to produce something that big. How did you learn how to do this? They've been told enough about talents being very helpful in careers. No one is going to insist. No one is going to tell you, oh yeah, you have to do this. Ni wewe have to evaluate one. I need to use my talent here. Here else, I need to use my education. And then, hapa pengine na need kutumia skills. So, if you are a youth right now, mi siwezi kuambia rely on talent, ama rely on education, ama rely on fate, ama rely on, you know, inheritance, depending whether you have it or not. I'd tell you to mix things up before you're older and you're like, I wish I did this. I wish singe concentrate so much on this one, ningefanya hii. Unaweza put effort in each and every one of them. And then, enye inakupea more fruits, you can start focusing on it, cultivating more towards it. It's only wise if you do it like that. If you concentrate on one of them, it take time kukupea fruits, but ikupea later on, well, it's still a way to do it, but it could be longer or unpromised. So, mi naweza sema, fanya zote. Tumia education yako, tumia akili yako, tumia skills zako, tumia talent yako, enye itajipa.
So nice. So hii ni kama deposit.
Deposit ya job gani? Joyce ako serious.
Social media handle is @it's Kanini on IG. IG is Instagram. And then it's Kanini Edith on Facebook. And then Kanini __ on Twitter. And TikTok, I'm not very active, but yeah, Kanini still. _ I think _. And then my work, most of the time, you can find most of it on YouTube. Gatara Shiny is on YouTube. If you look for it, you'll find it. There's a short film that's coming up. Probably it's going to be on YouTube, but we'll update on our socials. And then there's also a web series that's coming up. We'll update on our socials as well and let you know where you can find the rest.